Hello, my name is Yasmin Elizabeth and I'm the digital content lead at a charity called Power the Fight. We exist to support communities that have been impacted by violence affecting young people. Today I'm going to share a beatitude with you from Matthew 5:9, and I'm going to speak a little bit about what it means to me personally, but also how we can kind of put it into action. Matthew 5:9 says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for those will be called children of God." And for me personally, I find it a very encouraging sentence, scripture, because I feel as though in the world it would say something more like, blessed are the money makers or blessed are the success makers. And it just reminds me that actually what God calls us into is so different. And I also see it as an invitation, bringing you into God's plan for the world, that we're called to be peacemakers. I think it's really important to say that it doesn't say blessed are the peaceful. It says blessed are the peacemakers, which means that we're being kind of called into making something. To be a maker, you've got to be able to create something, right? And being kind of called into that can feel a bit scary, because mostly if there needs to be peace somewhere, if we have been called to be a peaceful maker, it means that probably in that situation or that space, there isn't much peace. But I kind of wanted to share with you how we can kind of put that into practice. And when I think back to the work that we do at Power the Fight, whether that's our training, whether that's our tip project, working with young people directly, whether that's even me on social media, I think we've really always kind of followed like a listen, learn and move. And normally move means to use our voice and to do something. And I think it's really important to know that we are being called into action to being a peacemaker. There's some work involved. And so those three things. So we're going to have to listen. And when I think back to our tip project that we now deliver in schools, that started with a report. It started with us listening to practitioners, young people and families. So we had to listen. And then what that enabled us to do was to learn. And when I'm thinking of you watching this, maybe there's, there's a situation or there's a space that isn't peaceful that you want to go into. And think the first two things you're going to want to do is listen. And then in that, you're going to learn about other people's experiences, and you're going to be able to be equipped better to be able to, contribute and create something which hopefully will be a little bit more peaceful than what is going on. And I would lastly say about the move, and that is using your voice. That can be in many different ways. It can be linking up with, charities or people that are already doing the work and lending your voice and your yourself to the cause. It can also look like writing to your MP. If you've listened and you've learned and you can see that maybe a legislation or a policy that's come in is affecting your community and it's going to have an impact on people, you can write to your MP, you can use your voice in that way. So I think a really practical way to think of these things is to listen, learn, move, and it normally means to use your voice and get in there. I also kind of wanted to end on an encouragement that sometimes it can feel really big, going into things that are not peaceful, and sometimes we can feel really small. But something that encourages me is to know that we are image bearers of God, and actually we have been given the fruits of the Spirit as we believe. And one of those fruits is peace, and that is what we can bear that fruit. And we have the best blueprint, which is Jesus, the Prince of Peace. So I kind of just wanted to leave us with that acknowledgement and that reminder, and just to go with boldness and go with tenacity and keep going. And blessed are the peacemakers, for those will be children of God.